If you've ever felt a burning sensation in your feet, a strange tingling, or a kind of numbness that makes it feel like you're walking on something uneven even when the ground is flat, you are not alone. For many people over 60, this becomes a daily experience. It may start subtly, something you notice at night or when you've been sitting for a while, but over time, it can begin to affect how you walk, how stable you feel, and how confident you are moving around your own home. What makes this especially frustrating is that many people are told there is not much they can do about it beyond managing the discomfort. They are often given medications or general advice, but very little guidance on how to actively support their body in a way that may improve how their nerves function. What is often missing from that conversation is something very important. Your nerves are not static. They are dynamic structures that respond to how they are used, how they are supported, and how your body maintains circulation and communication. When nerves are not receiving consistent signals, or when circulation to those areas is reduced, the communication between your brain and your body becomes less clear. This is when sensations like tingling, burning, or numbness can begin to appear. Your brain is still trying to interpret signals, but those signals are incomplete or distorted. The result is a kind of noise in the system. The encouraging part is that this process is not fixed. With the right type of movement and consistency, you can begin to stimulate these pathways again. Today, we are going to walk through a simple approach that focuses on supporting your nerves through movement, balance, and circulation, using exercises that can be done safely at home. To understand why these exercises matter, it helps to look at what is actually happening inside your body. Your peripheral nerves act like communication lines that carry information from your brain down to your feet and back again. They tell your brain what you are feeling, where your body is positioned, and how to adjust your movements. When these pathways are working well, your movements feel natural and coordinated. But when they are disrupted, the signals become less reliable. Your brain may receive incomplete information, which can lead to unusual sensations or a reduced sense of stability. One of the most common factors that contributes to this disruption is how your body manages certain internal processes over time. For example, changes in blood sugar levels, circulation, and nutrient balance can all influence how effectively these nerve pathways function. When these systems are not fully supported, the nerves may not receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to maintain clear communication. This does not mean that the system stops working entirely, but it does mean that the signals become less precise. Over time, this can affect how you move and how stable you feel. By focusing on exercises that improve circulation and stimulate these pathways, you can begin to support your body in restoring clearer communication between your brain and your feet. One of the most important foundations for supporting your nerves is movement that increases circulation. Circulation is what delivers oxygen and nutrients to your tissues, including your nerves. When circulation improves, your body is better able to maintain the health of these pathways. This is why even simple forms of movement can have a meaningful impact over time. The key is not intensity, but consistency. Gentle, controlled movements performed regularly can help improve how blood flows through your lower body, which in turn supports your nerves. A simple seated movement can be an effective starting point. By sitting upright and gently lifting your legs in a controlled rhythm, you begin to activate the muscles in your legs and improve circulation. Adding arm movement can further support this process by engaging more of your body. This type of movement is accessible and can be adjusted based on your comfort level. Over time, as your body adapts, you can gradually increase the duration. What matters most is that you are creating a steady flow of movement that supports your circulation without placing unnecessary strain on your body. This creates the foundation for the next steps, which focus more directly on balance and nerve activation. Once circulation begins to improve, the next step is to address something that often becomes less reliable over time, and that is your sense of balance. Balance is not just about strength. It is about communication between your brain and your body. Your brain needs constant feedback from your feet to understand where you are in space and how to adjust your position. When this feedback becomes weaker or less clear, your body has to compensate. This is why many people begin to feel less steady, even if their muscles are still relatively strong. The issue is not always strength, but awareness. By practicing simple balance exercises, you can begin to restore that communication. Standing behind a chair and gently shifting your weight onto one foot is a simple but effective way to start. Even lifting your foot slightly off the ground for a few seconds sends a strong signal through your nervous system. It tells your brain to pay attention, to engage, and to adjust. At first, this may feel challenging, and that is completely normal. The goal is not to hold the position perfectly, but to allow your body to practice responding. Over time, these small adjustments improve your ability to maintain stability. This is especially important because balance plays a key role in preventing falls. When your body is better able to respond to changes, you move with more confidence and less hesitation. Another movement that supports both balance and nerve activation is a gentle rocking motion from your heels to your toes. This movement may seem simple, but it engages multiple systems at once. As you shift your weight backward and forward, you are activating muscles in your lower legs, stimulating sensory receptors in your feet, and reinforcing the connection between your body and your brain. Each movement sends information upward, helping your brain understand how your body is positioned. This continuous flow of information strengthens the pathways that may have become less active over time. The key here is to move slowly and with control. Fast movements do not provide the same level of feedback. By taking your time, you allow your body to process each shift in position, which enhances the effectiveness of the exercise. Over time, this can lead to improvements in how you feel when standing and walking. You may notice that your movements feel more stable and that your body responds more quickly to changes. This is a sign that the communication between your brain and your body is becoming more efficient. As we move further into the routine, we begin to focus on strengthening the muscles that support circulation in your lower legs. These muscles act as a pump, helping to move blood back toward your heart. When they are not active, circulation can become less efficient, which may affect how well your nerves are supported. By performing controlled movements that engage these muscles, you can improve this process. Rising onto your toes and lowering yourself back down is a simple way to activate this system. The movement should be slow and deliberate, allowing the muscles to fully engage. This not only supports circulation, but also reinforces the connection between your muscles and your nervous system. Each repetition sends signals that help maintain the pathways responsible for movement and balance. Over time, this can lead to improvements in how your legs feel and how stable you are when moving. It is a small movement, but when performed consistently, it can have a meaningful impact. Now we shift our attention to the smaller muscles in your feet, which play a critical role in how you move and maintain balance. These muscles are often overlooked, but they are essential for fine control and stability. When they are not actively engaged, they can become weaker, which affects how your feet interact with the ground. This is where exercises that focus on your toes can be especially helpful. By gently using your toes to grip and release objects, you activate these smaller muscles and encourage the nerve pathways that control them to become more active. At first, this may feel unfamiliar or even difficult, and that is completely normal. It simply means that these pathways have not been used regularly. With consistent practice, your control improves, and the movements become more natural. This helps restore a level of precision in your movements that supports better balance and coordination. Now we shift our attention to the smaller muscles in your feet, which play a critical role in how you move and maintain balance. These muscles are often overlooked, but they are essential for fine control and stability. When they are not actively engaged, they can become weaker, which affects how your feet interact with the ground. This is where exercises that focus on your toes can be especially helpful. By gently using your toes to grip and release objects, you activate these smaller muscles and encourage the nerve pathways that control them to become more active. At first, this may feel unfamiliar or even difficult, and that is completely normal. It simply means that these pathways have not been used regularly. With consistent practice, your control improves, and the movements become more natural. This helps restore a level of precision in your movements that supports better balance and coordination. When all of these movements are combined into a simple daily routine, they create a powerful effect. Each exercise supports a different aspect of your system, from circulation to balance to nerve activation. Together, they help restore communication between your brain and your body. The most important factor is consistency. These movements do not need to be intense or time-consuming. What matters is that they are performed regularly. Over time, this consistency allows your body to adapt and improve. You may begin to notice subtle changes at first, such as feeling more stable or having more confidence in your movements. As these changes build, they can have a meaningful impact on your daily life. The most important thing to understand is that your body is capable of adapting, even later in life. The sensations you are experiencing are not a fixed condition. They are signals that your system needs support. By responding to those signals with consistent, thoughtful movement, you can begin to improve how your body functions. This is not about quick results, but about creating a steady process of improvement. Each small step contributes to a stronger, more stable system. And over time, that stability can help you move with greater confidence and comfort, allowing you to maintain your independence and enjoy your daily activities with less limitation.